Some of the techniques that we've got: Visual Stack, we've got Memory Palace, Palace, I can't spell tonight, P-A-L-A-C-E, is that right? Memory Palace, spaced repetition we spoke of. Spaced repetition is so important, so vital, that when you learn something, you go over it again, you go over it again. So the first time you learn it, you want to go over it probably the next day, and then after that you want to go over it 3 or 4 days later, and then about a week later, and then a month later, and we do spaced repetition. And so what happens is you recall it if you consistently go over it. If you don't go over it for 6 months, you've got to then go relearn it. Now, it is quicker to relearn it the second time. It's much faster. That's why even if you do, university or whatever, you'll learn something, you'll cram for an exam, and it gets you through the exam, and then you forget it a week later. When you go back and revisit it and learn it again, you'll actually learn it faster because you've already done it once. So muscle memory will be there. The next thing we've got is memory pegs, which is what we're doing here. And there's other techniques that we can use for, say, remembering where our keys in our wallet and different things are. Like, for example, one little technique that people do is they'll have their keys there and they'll look at exactly where they're sitting. They'll take 2 seconds, look at where they're sitting, look at how they're sitting, look at the direction, look at what's around it, and then take a snapshot of it in their mind. Like, you pretend to take a photo of it and then you walk off and you remember where those keys are. The reason we don't remember our keys and wallet is because we put them down while we're thinking about something else. We don't look at it, we don't pay attention, we leave it there, we walk off, and suddenly we forgot it. We spend, how much time looking for it?
45 minutes. Josh, that's why I put a hook on the door.
Yes.
And I always, when I come inside...
Absolutely. And that's the other way to do it, is repetition of behaviour. But when you're in a new place or you visit a friend, different story, because now you've got to go, I've now put on a different service in a different place, or you're staying in a friend's house for a week because your house is getting renovated. Now suddenly, and how much time have we spent looking for stuff because we didn't pay attention? You walk around the house and you're scratching your head, you're going, I know I've got some sticky tape somewhere. And you look around the house everywhere and you spend, it's probably quicker to jump in the car, drive down and get more, but then a week later you find it and now you've got 2 lots, and what do you want 2 lots for? Then a month later you go buy some more and now you've got 3 lots. Who's done that before? And suddenly you just get this build-up of, and you go, so frustrating. All right, so memory, what we want to do is pay attention, take a little snapshot of it. Imagine that your eyes are like a camera, and you could take a snapshot of it, exactly where it is. We look around it, we look at the surface, we look at association around it. 2 seconds, walk off, we remember it. It's logged in our brain. Okay, that's something we can do. And it's a skill that we practice like anything else. PIN numbers are other things. For example, if you had a 4-letter word, a 2-letter word, a 7-letter word, and a 5-letter word, and that was your PIN number, what you could do is it's difficult to remember that, but it is very easy to remember a little phrase. So the phrase could be, grab my invested money. So grab has 4 letters, my has 2 letters, I-N-V-E-S-T-E-T-E-D.
Let's look up what the postcode is for that. What the suburb is for that place.
4285. Or remember the suburb.
Yeah, the suburb.
So if you forget it, you remember the suburb, look it up on your phone. Yeah. But that's the same as just putting it in your phone. And sometimes you won't have it with you. They always say that you shouldn't write it on your card either. Some people write their PIN number on their card, which is terrible. Somebody gets that card and off they go on a spending spree.
Why did you disguise it as a phone number?
Yeah. And you knew it was like the first 2 are fake.
Yeah.
But the next ones are the real ones. Yeah, got it. So, but this is one way to do it, is just make a little phrase, and then whatever the letters are, I just did an example one, but that's one way to do it with PIN numbers. Because you can always remember the phrase, but you often forget the number. Okay, so that can help. So little techniques like that. Now, who thinks that they would like to learn some of these techniques? Who thinks that would be beneficial? They'd be beneficial for your mind, beneficial. For what purpose? For what purpose would you want to know, say, have a way to visually stack? For what purpose would you want memory palace or memory pegs or spaced repetition?